Okay, I finally appreciate why you're all so obsessed with this book. So I read White Nights by Dostoyevsky, and as to be expected at this point, I mean, this is not my first rodeo of this author. It was incredible. It was really good. I think the reason this book has done so well on social media, it perfectly distills his it factor into like a novella that's less than 100 pages. Like, it's really good. As much as I love Crime and Punishment and The Brothers Karamazov, I mean, of course, they are big commitments. They're very complex stories with lots of characters. This is much more grounded, much more simple. I mean, for the first 3/4 of it, it's literally like When Harry Met Sally. And then it takes you on that emotional roller coaster that is just so quintessential Dostoevsky. Like, really perfection. This is the point where I'm going to spoil the plot, so if you've not read this already, you might want to turn away. Hey, it's your funeral. So as I said, it's very When Harry Met Sally. Like, we have this man and this woman who keep running into each other on like this by the river. And she's like a hopeless romantic. Like, she likes this guy and she doesn't know. Like, he said he was going to come back in a year and like marry her, but she doesn't know he's been a bit late on his promise. So she thinks that he's no longer interested. Meanwhile, this other guy that she keeps meeting up with, she seems to only see him as like a friend. Like, they have a platonic link, very much like what they have in When Harry Met Sally, and that whole conversation about, can a man and a woman ever just be friends? Because he secretly likes her. He's like a dreamer. His life has been very sort of bleak up until this point, but the euphoria of feeling in love with someone has like changed his worldview completely. And when he finally has like his Billy Crystal confessional moment where he's like, I love the way you blah blah blah, like, you know, I feel for you. She seemingly accepts like his proposal just because she thinks that the other guy's not coming back, only to then find him. Like, they spot each other across the street, and then she runs off with him in front of our main guy. Like, brutal. Like, what a gut punch ending. Like, really just whew, lethal. This truly does read like Crash Course Dostoevsky. Like, if you want a succinct representation of why this author is such an enduring figure, like, over a century later, like, read this. You know, it perfectly sets the tone of what to expect from his bigger works. I just love his ability to make everything terrible. You know what I mean? Like, he just has that quality where you know that it can't be this good. Like, for the first 3/4, everything is so sweet and you're like, oh, but deep down I was like, something's gonna happen, and then it did, and I was still surprised because it was just so scathing. I was like, oh, deep. What I didn't realise as well is there's a second story in this book that not enough people talk about. There's a second story in this called Bobok, and it's got like talking corpses in it, and it's so crazy, and I loved it. Like, that one doesn't get enough praise, I would say. But in terms of rating, 5 stars, honestly. I know I don't give it out a lot, but there are no faults here. Like, it fires on all cylinders. It's perfect.